So CES bored me senseless this year. Alright, the Pixel's been out for months now, and I've been using it as my daily driver since it came out. I got it right away, pre-ordered it immediately, and you've seen what I think about it. Here's my review, you can go and check that out. I think it's a great device, it's a great pickup, but a few months in, how does it hold up? And more importantly, how does the entire landscape look right about now in January 2017? The best thing to me about the Pixel XL, and I guess the Pixel 2, is how much it disappears. Right? The experience is just so good on the software front, and the hardware is so good that I forget what device it is that I'm using. I'm just having a phenomenal experience with my device in my pocket, with my personal assistant, with my, the thing I need to get things done and that I use to entertain myself too. We're moving toward a direction with smartphones that focuses less on the sort of the style factor, the sort of societal impact, the whether or not this thing is a marker for us as a society. It's not quite so much a fashion choice. We're at a point with diminishing returns on the screen. We're hitting a point with diminishing returns on the processor, and we're gonna get to a point where it just does everything that we needed to do, and the thing that really sets it apart is doing something else. But this year at CES, I wasn't terribly impressed. I didn't see any phones come out this year that are doing anything particularly new and exciting. It feels like the last 2 or 3 years we've had S years, that gap year, and we're getting to a point now where finally our phones can handle being used for a solid 2 years, just like old dumb phones. The Pixel is a perfect pickup for something like that, provided that Google themselves as a company maintains the device. But from a hardware perspective, and a few months in, it feels every bit as responsive as it did on day one. Now, I haven't had any of the issues that a lot of people have been saying with the speaker cracking, some weird issues with the fingerprint sensor. My device has been perfectly prim proper since day one, so I haven't had any of those issues. But it's been really interesting to see this swath of 2016 phones kind of die down a little bit and not really see them replaced with much else. LG isn't really doing anything special with the G6 so far as I'm aware. They've said that it's going to be a sharper screen, better phone all around, but they've dropped the modular concept entirely. Haven't seen a whole lot from Motorola. We've seen a lot leak in terms of HTC's devices, and they look like a lot more of the same. Now, granted, that got them back to where they needed to be. The 10 kind of saved them, barely by the skin of their teeth. But I didn't see anything that really bleeds the HTC DNA. I don't see any devices really this year that bleed any particular company's DNA, any particular company's DNA. So 4 months into my Pixel experience, amusingly to me, my major takeaway with it is how little the phone itself matters to the experience. Now, what does matter a lot, I think, is, like I said, what our phones can do outside of the thing that we needed to deliver on every day, that we know everybody needs a phone to deliver on every day. Great camera, great battery, great screen, etc., etc. The things on top of that, though, what else do you got for me? Well, Apple's done a lot of work in trying to move toward that for the last couple years with HealthKit. I think health implications are huge for mobile phones. For example, for someone to be able to check their blood sugar on the go with one smart device, now that battery life is catching up with us, being able to use this for a lot of other things starts to make a lot of sense. And this is where I get excited. Those add-ons, those modular things, those are experiences that really require specific hardware. I don't think it's something that we're going to be able to solve with just a modular phone. I think we're going to need to keep going with the add-on side of things that we've been doing for the better part of a decade now. Making things that our phones can plug into and not the other way around. The other thing that I find really fascinating is whether or not we're going to finally get to a point where we can use our phone as our daily driver for all of our technology needs. Are we quite there yet? I don't think so, but I think we might get close in the next 5 years. If you remember, way back in 2010, I think it was when it came out, Motorola was the first to try this, the Motorola Atrix, and it didn't do terribly well. It was running its own custom OS. It was pretty slow and sluggish. The battery life just wasn't there. It got way too hot with the idea, man. The idea of carrying around your phone and slapping it into something bigger and being able to work on it, it's something that devices have been trying to do all the way up to as recently as 2015. Surfaces have been trying to do this. It's hard to do right, but maybe finally, by the end of 2017, we might start to see inklings of someone getting it right enough to expect that our phones might be able to take over as our primary computing devices at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Were you excited about what you saw at CES this year? How do you feel about the Pixel XL? Is it something that you still feel comfortable with recommending to other people? Also, totally made this video to be able to call it something that works well with the search algorithm. So let's see how that works out. Do me a favor, hit the like button down below if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't enjoy this video, hit the dislike button and let me know why in the comments. You guys know I'm happy to hear the feedback as long as you're not a dick, which leads me into the next thing. Thank you all again so much for watching. Be kind to one another, and I'll catch you in the next video.